So, a lot of my schoolmates have told me about Dune. And I would say love Dune. I thought since I never read the books or I seen the movie because of what the... I was going through a really hard time, by the way, when the movie came out. My grandma... Yes, I do believe my grandma passed away, maybe, I think. Time, but anyway, it was the COVID pandemic years, so... I'm watching Dune, and first of all, I love Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet is a great actor. He's so good at what he does. He's an excellent performer. I loved him in Wonka. He plays an excellent Willy Wonka in the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory prequel movie. It's excellent. I highly recommend everyone seeing it. However, he's great as a performer in Dune. That being said, he plays a great person who's been through abuse. And for someone who's been abused, there's a lot of symbolism of abuse. There's actually very much a form of abuse in this movie that this character goes through. And people who've been through abuse could watch it and be terrified and scared. There's even a voice that he uses vocally where he's trying to make people do things. Like, bring me the water. That's a form of abuse. And symbolically, people who have been abused can look at that and say, that is what somebody who abused me was like. The voice, the vocal tone, the deeper the voice, the way the mood, the vocals mood or tone of the voice can really scare somebody into saying they are training this person to become an abuser. It's scary. Actually, I was watching this movie. I was watching Dune, hour and a half. This movie is very conflicting, and it made me go to deep darks of my past. There was a huge lot of mental triggers of this movie. I do not recommend it for anybody who's been abused to watch this movie. I think it could be very mental health triggering. And I don't see how this voice can be a symbol of making people do this. Like, this is just so wrong. I'm sorry. There's just a very scared form of abuse. I have to warn anybody who's been through abuse, anybody that's been through any form of child abuse, in this movie, and a lot of forms of cultural inappropriacy, like how the Arrakis family, the white people, the white family are wearing these cultural clothes that look very seductive and very Indian. Not Indian as in American Indians, I mean India. Like one of those characters from Big Bang Theory. India. And this movie, it takes a toll on inappropriate culture and makes it very territorial. Like, this is white people clothes, and it's very wrong. I have to say, it's very, very wrong. the clothes that the women wear. And am I also wrong to say that when I was watching the Iraqis Family Army, it looked like a Nazi / Hydra warriors? Like, there's so many things culturally wrong with. I mean, it looks like Nazis. I'm looking like it looks like Hydra in former clothing, in uniform, in a fashionable suit uniform. And it looks like also not, which in the Marvel comics, the Hydra was Stan Lee's and Ditko's form of Nazis. And yeah, there's a lot wrong with this movie. Like cultural inappropriacy. The women, they dress just the white, like the family, they dress like Indians, like Malaysian Indians or Muslim, I don't know, but it's just culturally wrong. There's so much inappropriacy in this movie that I would not be shocked if some people watching this would be go like, yeah, that's inappropriate. And the fact that that is their fashion, and the fact that it is not. I mean, when you see, I mean, I get it. Anybody, I think it's okay that anybody can wear multicultural clothing. But the fact that these are the clothes that they wear in a story, and you're not identifying the story of what is culturally different, because in a story you have to identify the clothes as this is their clothes, this is what they wear. There's so much wrong. And what's also wrong is that the family in this movie and the military look like Hydra or Nazis. They're people with PTSD, people who have been in the army, been in the wars. They can look at that clothing. Anything can set a person off. Anything can set an animal off. Trust me, there's even dogs and cats who've been in the army can have forms of PTSD, and they can be scared. They can act out of violence. And this movie, Dune, is culturally inappropriate. And the fact that they praise this family in the movie, there's a huge line where the white people are like gods, or they treat them as like Jesus. I have to say, this is not Timothée Chalamet's fault. I love Timothée Chalamet. He's a great actor in Wonka. Wonka was a great movie, but I do not see anything great about this movie. Except it's bland, mediocre style, its form of abuse,